I'm Master Kenneth, this is Master Kim. We're here to teach you Taekwondo 5 today. So the first thing we're going to learn today is the hammer fist. So starting from our low block position in forward stance, we're going to go from here into a hammer fist. The hammer fist movement starts from here. You pull your hand back to where your belt is. You're going to bring it above your head and swing it down at the same time as you pull your leg back in and striking at your shoulder level. So let's go from position 1. And you set your hand to position 2, and you move 3. So again, 1, 2, 3. Okay, very good. Let's try this from the other side. Position 1, 2, 3. Again, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so make sure it's important to see that your hand goes from the inside to strike, not from the outside. Okay, so that's the first technique. So from the hammer fist position, we are going to do an L stance. The L stance is a new technique, right? A new stance position that's very similar to that of a back stance, except instead of having 2 feet distance, you only have 1, and your knees are straight. To do it, very simple. You start with your feet together, turn your leg to the side, move your heel to your toe once, and you keep your knees straight and your back straight. That's very simple, it's just an L stance. Okay, so you're transitioning from a forward stance position, and you're pulling your leg back, and you're turning your foot to the side to show an L stance. Okay, let's try it one more time. Forward stance, L stance. Forward stance, L stance. Okay, so the next thing we're going to learn today is the elbow strike. Right, so the elbow strike is a strike to your chin, using your elbow, of course, but you're going to do it from a single knife hand block position. So we'll start in a back stance, single knife hand block. From here, when we transition forward, we're going to change to a forward stance, and we're going to bring our fist into our palm. So the hand that was open stays open, and you bring your elbow in front of your chin. You do not want it covering your eyes, you don't want it covering your mouth, you don't want it to cover your mouth. You want to make sure that your elbow is at your chin level and your back is straight. So avoid leaning forward, avoid leaning to the side. Okay, let's try this one more time from single knife hand block position. Elbow strike. 1. Again. 2. And again. 3. Very good. Okay, the next technique we're going to learn today is going to be the side hammer fist, right? Which we're going to do from a head block position into a side kick. So what we're going to do from this position is, number 1, we're going to start with a head block. Right, from here we're going to transition into a side kick position by raising your knee and turning it to the side, and bring your hand to your shoulder. So my hands are like a head block position, but they're facing away from one another. My striking hand is on my shoulder. I'm going to stick my leg out and my hand out at the same time, parallel to one another. So if my leg is lower, my hand will be lower. If my foot is higher, my hand will be higher. From here, I'm going to bend my knee. As I land, I'm going to open my hand, and I'm going to place my elbow into the tip of my palm. So from here, it's going to be open and elbow to your hand. Okay, so let's try this one more time. From here, position 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now the last technique we're going to cover today is the cross stance. So at the end of the Poomsae, we're in a very specific stance called the cross stance. So from a low block and a middle block position, we're doing front kick and we're landing in a cross stance. So this position is going to look like this. Right, so the details of this are like this. Number 1, the leg you're standing on, your right leg, is going to face 45 degrees off center. From here, your second leg, your left leg, is going to make a T shape, facing your right leg at a 90-degree angle. So you make a T. And there's going to be 1 fist of distance between your toe and the side of your foot. From here, you're going to lift up your heel. Right? Another thing to make sure that you're doing this right, if you find that your shoulders are facing sideways, you know that you're doing it properly. If you find that your body's facing forwards, you know that you're doing it wrong. Okay, so once again, the position is 45 degrees off center. Foot facing your other leg. heel up, bend your knees, shoulders sideways. Okay. So from here, let's start going into the Poomsae itself, and we're going to work on each of the sections, right? So facing forward. Turn. Jimmy. Master Kim's going to start with a low block first in forward stance. Hana! And now with the same hand he's blocking with, he's going to do a hammer fist position. Two. From here, as Master Kim turns around, he's going to turn both of his legs to the right side and block with his right hand. Set! And hammer fist once again with his right hand. Now, from here, his left leg, his back leg is going to move to the front and block with his left hand. It's going to look like this. Hana! 1, 2. So it's 2 blocks, right? Your hand and your leg go together. So your left hand and your left leg, and then the other hand goes in. So from here, the next move is going to be a front kick. So we're going to do a front kick. We're going to strike with the back fist with our right hand, and the center hand for a middle block with our left. Okay, so it's very important here to know that our back fist is at our mouth level. Our middle block is going to be at our shoulder level. Okay, so the heights of these two things are not the same. One is at your mouth height, one is at your shoulder height. Position 1 and position 2, make sure they're not both up and make sure they're not both down. Okay, so from this position here, we're going to do is to get in with our left leg. So our left leg's going to kick, 1, back fist number 2 with your left hand, and then right hand middle block. From here, the last step is to step forward and do a back fist. Now, let's go back to the beginning and try this one more time. 5, to me. Hana. 3. Set. Net. 5. 6. 7. 8. Okay, so from here we're going to move on to the second section. We're going to spin around and do a single knife hand block with your left hand. So from here, as you turn around, make sure you set your hands to this position. Go from 1, 2, turn around to 3. Now, from here, Master Kim is going to do that elbow strike that we talked about earlier, at the chin level, in a forward stance. 3. From here, he's going to turn around, and the same hand that's doing that elbow is going to do a single knife hand block. Set. Net. Followed by an elbow with the opposite hand once again. It's very important that when you step forward into that forward stance, that your new front leg, your left leg, is facing forward. A very common error we have that when people go from back stance to forward stance is they turn their front leg to the side. So this is incorrect. Please make sure that when you step forward, you're stepping forward and you're not stepping into a horse riding stance, which is a common mistake people make. Okay, so from here, let's move on to the next part. He's going to step to the back and do low block, middle block. Hana! And forward. From here, he's going to do the same thing after a front kick. So front kick, low block, middle block, Hana! Okay, from here, let's go back to Jumbi and do it again from the beginning. Jumbi! Hana! 3. Set. Net. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷. Okay, everyone, from this point, please note that if you're unsure of anything that we've done so far, that you can go back and re-watch parts of the video that you're unclear about. Right? We've broken it down into two clear sections for you to follow. Now let's move on to the third section. From here, Master Kim is going to do a head block with his left hand and move his left leg to the side. Enough! So So in this position, it's very important to make sure that you're doing a forward stance. Okay? So just like what we talked about before, we're going to start from this position, bring our hand and leg up into sidekick position and side hammer fist position. As he sticks his leg out, his hand is going to come out together at the same angle as his leg. So if your leg is lower, lower your hand. If your foot is higher, raise your hand, raise your foot, raise your hand. From here, he's going to bend his knee and open his hand at the last second. Now, and you're going to do the same thing on the other side and forward stance. So one important thing here is to make sure that you turn backwards. A common error that students have is they go from here and they turn to the front. You want to make sure you're turning to the back. So in this case, going past the camera. Now, there. Okay, so one more important thing to note here is which hand is doing the elbow and which hand is doing the open hand position. A common thing that students do on a sidekick is they'll go here and they'll bring their other hand around and then they'll slap their forearm. So that's not what we want to do. The best way to remember this is when your side hammer fist comes out, right? Your opposite hand. So the hand that's on your belt is going to do the elbow strike. Here. This one. Avoid doing this. Okay, from here we're going to move into the last few moves. Master Kim is going to do a low block and a middle block to the back in forward stance. Now, from here the last move is going to be a front kick and a stomp into the cross stance. So to see this from the side angle, it's going to be a front kick, a set for a back fist, a stomp, and you bring your leg into cross stance position and you key up. Ha! So at normal speed, it's going to look like this. Ha! Ha! Sure. So one common error that's found at the end is that students sometimes jump into position. So number one, that's incorrect distance. Number two, right, you're also affecting your balance. After the front kick, you're stepping into position. It's a stomp, not a jump. Your feet don't leave the ground at the same time. Okay, so from this point, this is the whole Poomsae. We're going to do this one more time and show you the whole thing and put it together. So from here, as again, facing forward. Take. Jimmy. 시작. Sure. Okay everyone, so this was Taekwondo 5. Hopefully you learned how to do it properly. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask us in the comments. Thank you very much. Set. Set. In there.